my name is Maria McCain. I work for Cargill, where I lead our protein business for McDonald's Canada. So we supply their chicken and beef. I'm based in our facility in London, Ontario.
So my name is Carissa Wilcox, and I'm originally from Medicine Hat, Alberta, and my role, I'm a part of my family's cow-calf operation, and I'm also a beef cattle researcher at the University of Saskatchewan. So right now my project is focusing on beef cattle nutrition and production, like I said. So my project is looking at alternative trace mineral supplementation strategies for beef producers. So hopefully that project could potentially improve conception rates and calf performance. So that just provides innovation, hopefully, and improve economics for beef cattle producers in the future.
Hey, hi, my name is Stephanie Lamb, and I'm a research associate working with the University of Guelph. And I did my PhD in beef cattle genetics. I then did a postdoc at Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada in meat quality and carcass traits in beef. And then I worked a bit in the not-for-profit organizations for funding research. And my role in the beef community is to try to identify and develop tools that can help the beef community overcome major challenges that they're facing today.
My name is Morgan Heidecker. I come from Middle Lake, Saskatchewan, which is about an hour and a half northeast of Saskatoon. And I come from a cow-calf operation of Hereford cattle as well as Angus cattle, and very happy to be part of our beef community.
My name is Jenna Sarich. I come from Saskatchewan. My family has a grain farm right outside of Craig, and I went to high school in Fort Powell growing up. So I have a role in the research community. Through that, I do research as a master's student, and I also work within the beef community as a technical advisor for the Canadian Cattle Association, and I also work with the National Beef Sustainability Assessment for the Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef.
Hi, my name's Josephine Verhollen. I work for Cargill Protein. I'm a senior food scientist, and my role would be product innovation for McDonald's Canada.
Hi everyone, my name is Camila. I'm from Colombia, South America. My current role in beef cattle community is being a graduate student working on beef cattle production. We want to measure if extreme weather conditions during the summer and during the winter affect the beef cattle producers. We want to measure blood parameters related with immunity, behavior, reproduction, and physiology.
So I'm McKenna Richardson from a small town, Sova, Quebec, raised on a cow-calf operation, and hopefully going home to take over and expand after graduation. So I'm currently studying at McGill University McDonald campus in the Farm Management and Technology program in St. Anne de Bellevue, Quebec. I'm doing the production side of it in beef and sheep.
So my name is Kristen Lee. I'm originally from Red Deer, Alberta, but I recently have moved to Guelph to pursue my PhD at the University of Guelph, and my project is in beef research. Yeah, so my project is a collaborative project with a company called Ag Sites. So this is an Ontario-based company, and they produce tools, technology and support for data capture at various aspects along the food supply chain. So one of the tools they produce is a on-farm data collection and genetic evaluation system. So the purpose of my project is to update this system so that it can incorporate genomics as well as high-throughput phenotype data. The final product of my project is going to be incorporated into their commercial tool and then sold to beef farmers across Canada and worldwide.
I think when I look back at my career, the one thing I'm most proud of is the last few years have been really hard with all the challenges that people have faced with working from home, COVID, restrictions. And not to mention supply chain challenges. I'm really proud of the team and how everybody came together and really worked together in a time that was filled with personal challenges. And so I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of how the team pulled together. And I think when I look back on my career, the last 2 years, while they've been really tough and challenging, has been also really rewarding as well.
The biggest success for my career so far has been buying my first Black Angus purebred heifer calf with my boyfriend this fall. So she'll be my 4-H project for 2023 show season and then the beginning of my purebred herd.
One success in my career that I'm most proud of is probably finishing my PhD program in agriculture. I have a huge passion for improving agriculture, and I want to contribute to it for the rest of my career. And I think finishing that especially in beef. I love research in beef and cattle and genetics, so that's been my greatest accomplishment in my career. I initially wanted to be a veterinarian because I love animals, and then after becoming more involved in the agricultural community, I learned about all of the amazing opportunities that early career individuals have in agriculture. So then my path diverted towards cattle, beef production, and I've always stayed in it since I started in my undergrad.
I really loved animals from a young age. I had a lot of diverse animal experience in high school. I worked with reindeer, with horses, at vet clinics and humane societies. So I came into undergrad knowing that I loved animals and I wanted to work with them. Throughout my undergrad, I tried a couple different species. I worked in the swine industry for a little bit. I worked at Fast Genetics. And then I got a summer job at Agriculture Canada in Lethbridge. And I was working under Karen Boschman on her 3NOP trial. And we were doing a metabolism study on heifers. And I just absolutely fell in love with working with cattle, and I loved their demeanor, and I loved them as a species. So that was really my turning point, and that is when I really decided I want to do masters, I want to do research, and I want to find the answer to these questions that we're trying to look for.
Yes, I think once I realized I didn't want to go to med school, I probably, my next passion was food, and more of the technology side of food. So after that, I kind of knew and found my passion.
Yeah, this is something I sought. So I started with Cargill actually on the third shift sanitation shift, and I've worked. I've had a very non-traditional career path, but it's something that I've worked towards, and I've had a lot of unique experiences. I've had fantastic mentors and sponsors at Cargill. So this is something that I've worked really hard in my career towards this position.
I would say a little mixture of all of the above. So. Kind of being born and raised into that environment. My family, so right now I would be a 5th generation rancher, so definitely it's kind of instilled into my blood. And then also too, I definitely had to work towards being in the role that I am with school, and also I had other job opportunities like working at auction marts during the fall run, or having related job opportunities.
It was something I was born into. My dad took over the farm from his father when he was 18. So I've been involved on the farm since I could walk. So.
I think I have a really unique role in the Canadian supply chain because I get to work with both the ranchers and get to experience the work that they do, but then I also get to work with a really great customer that really values the work that the entire supply chain does. And so I find that so energizing that I get to work with the entire Canadian beef supply chain. And so that makes it a lot of fun in my role.
What I would say what energizes me specifically is I go into the processing facilities or the manufacturing facilities, and being in those plant settings and working as a team, that really energizes me, and like solving problems as a team and like finding a solution.
Something that energizes me about being part of our beef community in Canada is the potential to redefine beef as the first choice or the best choice for protein in our diet.
Okay, I would like to say that my supervisor, she's a young woman, and she is a professor at the University of Alberta. Moreover, I think in one of my supervisor during my internship at the University of Florida, she's Angela Gonella. She told me a lot of paths of reproduction, and we use there many technologies that, in my opinion, it will be super useful to use here in Canada for beef community.
The company I work with, Egg Sites, their general manager is a woman. Her name's Betty Jo Almond, and it's just inspiring to see a woman in a leadership, high-level management position, because I think women still are kind of underrepresented in that area. And so it's inspiring to see her in that position, and then also the way she encourages other women to kind of take on the same high-level roles. She's brought a lot of women into the board of directors, and now the board of directors is kind of equally men and women, so I think that's really cool.
I think it's important because like a lot of workplaces, we need diversity, and I think females too, they bring a lot of different qualities in workplaces, different ways of thinking as well, and when we can collaborate with other ways of thinking, that's where all this innovation occurs.
Okay, women, we are smart, we are creative, and we have many skills to help to increase the production here in Canada and around the world. We can match our knowledge with the activities that we have at the farm, and together improve the production.
I think women really do thrive in agriculture, but again, we're still kind of underrepresented in high-level roles and leadership positions, so on boards, associations, and then senior management positions. And I think women and men, your gender doesn't really define your skill set, but I think it does define your life history, and which will determine your kind of points of view, your perspective, and your approaches. So I think if we really kind of celebrate these different perspectives, it leads to much more innovative ideas and better problem solving. So yeah, I think if we can all kind of work together in agriculture, we can come up with the best solutions to the present day challenges experienced by the industry.
It's important for females to be represented in the beef community because there is females in the beef community. A lot of people don't know that that's where their meat is coming from, their beef is coming from. There's so many strong women that work on their ranches and have a huge part in their ranch, and it's just not what's portrayed typically in the media. So being able to really show that these women are doing so much behind the scenes is extremely important. Women can support other women just by lifting each other up, being able to give advice to each other, being someone that they can come to and someone they can relate to whenever issues come up that we all go through because we are women.
Simply by networking, conferences like this one are obviously a perfect example. Just being part of that industry together, communicating about what they've learned, what they've found works or doesn't work, if it's on their farm operation, whether it's in their area of expertise and research, or simply their experiences with eating beef, cooking with beef, and
Women supporting women is important in all domains of the world, but in ag, I think women can support each other by networking, putting ourselves out there, and like building connections with other women. And I feel like that allows us to grow and support each other as we do so.
I think that I lead a little bit differently, just because I have empathy. I've been in rooms where I'm the only, and that's a really lonely experience. And I think that once you experience that, when you see people who are in roles where they might feel lonely or they might feel like their voice isn't heard, I think you approach it differently, and it's a very inclusive style of leadership that comes with that sort of approach.
I don't believe that being a woman ever helped me or maybe got me further into what I'm doing, but I do believe that because I've been a woman my whole life and I've had to deal with some tribulations and that type of stuff leading up to this point, I think it really created this feisty spirit, and that was able to really drive me through and chase after my passions a lot better.
One piece of advice I would pass on to my earlier self is to just take life in strides. You don't have to have everything figured out today. A lot of things take time, whether it's your dreams, your plans, each step that you're going to take in life. It will take time. You will get to where you're meant to be, where you're best at working. So just to stay aligned with what your dreams are, what your goals are, but to be flexible with where that path might take you.
Great question. I see the beef community becoming more advanced and taking on more technologies. I see a lot of use of data and tools and technologies, novel applications that are really going to revolutionize the how we see beef, how we taste it, how we produce it, and I think that's just more opportunities. So I see lots of opportunities. And for my role, I hope to contribute however I can, as much as I can, using my background and experiences, and I hope to meet a lot of people along the journey.
There's going to be lots of innovation, collaborative thinking, and I think especially in research too, I think more people are trying to do collaborative research. And I think too, a big component in Canada is public trust. So I think we're going to try and persuade more consumers to trust in our beef production, that it is safe and sound. So hopefully that improves over in the next 5 years.
I'm really interested in genomics and technology and their application, and kind of to see how they improve the beef production.
I think what I'm most excited for the future in beef is, at least on my job, is the product development side. So developing new products and getting consumers re-excited to try new beef products or new beef patties, and potentially trying something new.
I'm most excited of use technologies, because with that we can reduce the handle of animals and we can invest that time in research, for example. And if we invest our time also in research, we can get more products to the farm to help the producers, to help the reproductive rates, to help with average daily gain. So yeah.